Welcome back. We're here with Scott Neal, who is the president of D. Scott Neal Incorporated and founder of CaregiverCircle.com. Welcome back.
Well, thanks, Vicki.
Yeah, we're talking about living arrangements. Tell me a little bit about that.
That's one of the things that we deal with in Caregiver Circle. Well, for the 33 years that I've been doing financial planning, I've always asked clients what they plan to do as far as their living arrangements in elderhood. Mm-hmm. And in all of those years, I've counseled with hundreds of clients, and I think I've had one who has said she wants to go to a nursing home. As you might imagine, the more predominant answer is, I want to stay at home. I want to age in place. Mm-hmm. And the options have expanded so much over the last few years.
Well, what are the options today?
Well, I think largely there are three. Okay. That is, living at home, either with a companion or a caregiver. Mm-hmm. Living with a friend or relative. I once had a client that I recommended to the daughter that she allow her mother to come and move in with her. And she said, oh my goodness, I would be probably arrested for patricide. I had to, I thought I knew what it meant, but I had to go look up the word to make sure, and you can imagine. The third area is that of institutional living. And people generally think about nursing home when they think about that. Mm-hmm. Had another client years ago who was applying for some long-term care insurance. We don't sell it, but we certainly advise clients what they need. Mm-hmm. And I was reading over her proposal, and she said it said that she had to be incapable of performing 3 of the activities of daily living. She said, my lands, if I'm that sick, I don't need to be staying at home. Because the care policy was going to pay for care at home if she was incapacitated from doing those 3 things.
Well, what are the activities of daily living?
Well, we've got dressing, we've got eating, mm-hmm. we've got bathing, we've got mm-hmm. continence, we've got toileting, we've got dressing ourselves. Those are primarily the basic activities of daily living.
And they need to be able to do 3.
Well,
they need to be unable.
In her case, she needed to have the incapacity of performing at least 3 of those.
Okay, so unable to do
Unable to do those.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the way that long-term care policies kick in a benefit.
I see.
Is the incapacity to be able to do any of the, and some of them will do 2, some of them will do 3. But anyway, that's a measure and an assessment that you can do. And on CaregiverCircle.com, we do have an assessment tool that enables the caregiver to go online and take the assessment to be able to do that.
Okay, well, what about cooking?
Well, I'm glad you suggested that. You know, one of the activities of daily living is eating, mm-hmm. but it doesn't say a thing about preparing the food. If you're incapable of preparing your food, that's a functional or instrumental daily activity of daily living, mm-hmm. and the policies are usually silent on those things.
Okay, well, let's talk about something called aging in place. Explain that to us.
Well, everyone seems to want to age in place, and so but they discount what work is required in order to do that. When my wife and I decided that we wanted to find a house where we could, our last house to where I could age in place, because I'm 10 years older than she is. We went shopping online and specified that we wanted a first floor bedroom, we wanted a master suite down there, we wanted a kitchen and all that sort of stuff on the first floor. The house that we fell in love with had 5 steps to get in from any direction. Mm. And so, being the planner that I am, I quickly surmised that, well, we can tear out the steps in the garage and replace it with one of those chair lifts, and I can roll into the kitchen.
That's perfect. All right, well, thank you so much. You've got great information here. I appreciate everything, yeah.
Well, join us on CaregiverCircle.com. We talk about things like this.
We'll see you next time.